Hey everyone, this is bloodmako and this is my run of Transcendence 1 and 2. I decided to combine both of them into one video and I'll upload the last stage as a video by itself because the last stage is actually really long because there's 3 waves and they are all Lufenia stages. But thankfully the bosses are not very tanky. More on that in the next video. Right now, let's talk about the first and second stage. Left and right gate. So this is the left gate. It's basically the wolves that we have been fighting many times. The Orb Condition for this Lufenia fight is to delay the main wolf. The other 2 minions will not have Lufenia Orb. And the Orb triggers at 79%, I believe. So I have heard that Garland is able to solo this with his BT+. But I'm not so sure if you are able to do this with just his normal burst. It might be possible, but I do not want to try it. Because for one, this stage is actually pretty long. And I had to redo stage 3 because I did not wasn't recording it the first time I did it. That was a mistake on my part, so I had to do it again. I think if I reset stage 1, well, like one of the stages, I have to do the whole thing all over again, which I am not looking forward to. But hey, if you guys are able to do this stage solo with Garland, let me know. How do you go? Which core do you use? Do you burst immediately, you know, just to get the turns in? And when do you summon, you know? That'll be pretty interesting to learn. But this stage in general is not particularly difficult. I brought Young just for the extra DPS. You are definitely able to do it with just Garland and RNA. Because somewhere along the way the mobs just the boss will actually kill off his own mobs. Well, they call it retreat, but it can't look like he kill them off. And then Garland can just focus on the boss. There you go. At about 79%, he actually kills them off. And he's just alone, so it makes things really easy. I believe he summons them again. I believe it's maybe around 50%. He summoned them just before I was going to burst or something along the lines of that. We'll see later on anyway. But the minute that he's alone, the fight becomes a joke actually, because you know this is a Lufenia fight. Normally there's 2 bosses, and this guy is just like, hey, I'm strong enough, you know, I don't need any minions. But yeah, I mean, Garland with his delay, he just makes this fight a joke. The second fight on the other hand is actually pretty annoying. They actually resist, they have increased magic resistance, but they have a lot of elemental weakness. And that is the Orb Condition for the stage 2 fight, the right gate, which is to hit them with the particular element that they are weak to. And if you have fairies, then of course it makes things a lot easier. But I found that an easy way is to just bring someone with a core, because the orb actually disappears at about 50%, I believe. We'll see the video. I mean, it's all in there actually. I'm just talking ahead of it, but yeah, the bosses are actually pretty annoying if you don't have fairies or someone that can dispel, because of their electromagnetic barrier, which actually reduces the HP damage received by quite a significant amount. I mean, it's 50 or 70, I can't remember, but it's quite a huge amount. And it's pretty annoying to deal with. So right then, you saw that the boss actually resummoned his minion at about 66% health. So it gives me the idea that it is not based on his HP, because it was also my turn, but it is based on how many turns that you take. But again, with Garland, you know, you can just use his round H, his S1, and just delay all of them. Or you can just delay the boss. You know, the minions are not very important, especially with Young's LD active. I don't have to worry about getting broken. I didn't bring any healing at all, which was a mistake just now. I mean, I did in the form of Ignis Core, which was lucky because if not, I would have taken a HP damage. I believe I would have still made the requirement, but it would have been safer if I had brought either another healing call or just not let the boss take any turn. Yeah, so as usual, I normally burst at about 50%. I would have done a lot more if I had burst with the minions in the burst, but it does not really matter because Garland with his burst is ridiculous. He's doing absurd amount of damage, especially with Young's LD active, with Young following up every attack, including the ending burst, where you will see he actually perform his LD follow up after the burst ends, which is a good thing because then you get the added Brave Cap increase. As you can see, he's hitting a 130k. 130k? No, sorry, 13k. Yeah. So right now, the aim of the game is to just kill the boss as fast as possible. The turn count is not the issue. Everybody's full health. You can't even see where the boss turn is anymore. The orb is not an issue because Garland will take his turn every few turns, and it increases by 4 or 5 every time you delay the boss. So yeah, bringing RNA was actually overkill, but I just wanted to, you know, kill this boss as fast as possible, get it done and over with. I could have just brought any other character, a support character, you know, someone that can maybe debuff the boss a bit more, you know. Doesn't even really matter who I bring because, to be honest, Garland is there to do all the damage that you need. So right now the boss is at what, 16-15%. He's close to dead. Interestingly enough, I've been spamming a lot with Arania, and as you can see, she's actually running out of her skills. It's not really an issue because the boss is literally single digit at this point of time, and the orb count is not an issue either. You can see I'm just spamming with Young. I wanted to get as much of the kick recovery in before I use his LD, just so that I won't waste the LD buff. The summon wasn't really necessary. It was just so that I can, you know, reduce the turn count as much as possible. But yeah, Garland with his burst active, his EX just does a super crazy amount of damage. So yeah, I defeated the boss in the summon, which makes me think I should have summoned earlier to, you know, reduce the turn count even more. Not that it matters, we still hit over 1 million. No HP damage at all. Oh yes, you have to bring a black crystal character. So if you, so Garland is perfect for this stage. And on to the next one. Right, so for this fight, I actually brought Terra, Sarah, and Ferris. To be honest, I did not really need Ferris. I was actually thinking of bringing Balthier, just so that I can, you know, take the boss away from the bosses. But you know, since I got her LD, I was like, why not just try it out? You know, because I have no idea how her LD works, no idea how she works in general. You know, because I did not build my Ferris at all. She wasn't even purple gear. So that was the initial plan for if I was not able to get her LD. I was thinking of bringing a bunch of calls to enchant the party, and bringing Balthier to increase the HP damage, and also to take the boss buff away when they buff themselves, you know, the stupid electromagnetic barrier. which is so annoying to deal with. And I did not know that with the rework, fairies actually dispel all the bosses' buff, including the frame buff. So with her skill 2, the cannon fire. So she will dispel the buff and then apply the debuff, which is pretty interesting, and she works really well with Sarah because of how Sarah's kit works. You want the boss to have, well, if it's possible, maxed out debuff slots, which makes her do more HP damage. You know, it kicks in her passive. And once again, I did not bring healing. I didn't know why that didn't occur to me to bring someone that actually heals. But again, with Ignis Call, that is not an issue. The regroup does heals for quite a bit. And this stage was specifically designed for fairies. You can tell based on the way the boss works, the way a new kit works, dispelling and reapplying, especially with her reapplying the debuffs, especially with her LD, where after they gain a ton of brave, the LD effect kicks in and immediately reduces it to 0. So yeah, fairies actually makes this fight quite legit. And right there, funny enough, the enchanting call, well, the Ignis call fell off, and I didn't notice, and Terra did absolutely no damage. So you want to put all your enchanters or your enchant calls on either Sarah or fairies, so that when Terra does her LD, you know, you don't have to worry about the call running off, so that you still be enchanted with that specific element. And these boss are weak to quite a few elements. I brought fire, water, and lightning. And I believe they're also weak to wind. But I'd rather, you know, enchant everyone with water instead of Fujin's wind. Just because it works really well in the sense that the way Rydia's call works, you know, you give a buff to everyone, which works really well with Terra, because she can take as many turns as she wants and will not, you know, erase the call buff. So this boss, once you bring someone like fairies, they don't really become an issue anymore, because the whole mechanic of theirs which was annoying, was the electromagnetic barrier. And once you get rid of that, or once you find a way to deal with it, then these bosses are quite the pushover already. They are definitely more tanky than the first gate, the left gate. But the amount of damage that Terra puts out is just insane. So as you can see, yeah, they lose, or they get rid of their orb at about 79%, and they recast the orb at 49%. And then after that, it will not go away anymore. So another way to deal with this boss, the way I see it at least, is to just stack them with a bunch of frame debuff, so they don't have a slot to, you know, get the electromagnetic barrier. The brave is not the issue, you know. There's not much, at least, brave reduction. So you can bring someone like Emi, you know, with her LD, she immediately puts, I believe, 3 or 4 frame debuffs, and then stack it with someone like Gabroth, and there you go, 6. Or maybe 5. You bring Sarah and that's 6. So, I mean, that's assuming that you have an enchanter on the team. If not, then Cryo? Crow is a good enchanter, and she also applies a frame debuff. At least only one, but yeah, it still helps quite a bit sometimes. Especially after they take a turn, they immediately get paralyzed if they don't cleanse it. So yeah, I just use Ignis Core to heal up, just for the score. I believe I was still within the HP threshold, so that really wasn't much of an issue. I believe that I could have, played it way more aggressive with Terra and her LD. But I'm pretty happy with the way I played it actually. Other than the initial one with fairies where I didn't understand her new kit and I used her LD instead of S2, the cannon fire, on the boss that had the buff, the HP reduction buff. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I find this stage is pretty, I wouldn't say easy, but very manageable with fairies around. And I love the LD animation, the amount of hits and how cool it looks. Yeah, I'm really happy that I got it. I just uploaded the video of me, pulling for Fairy's LD. I got it quite late actually. Yeah, but thankfully I didn't have to spend more tickets than I need to, because it's a really good call as well. But yeah, the bosses are dying already. I summoned again, even though I didn't really need to. It was more, to just rush down the boss as fast as possible. And yeah, I'm not sure if you guys noticed it, but there was some time at the end of the first fight where I just showed you guys my initial team, my first team's spheres and artifacts. So just so that you guys might be able to see, what you guys need to put on or take off in case you guys want to run the same team as me. But yeah, I mean, the bosses I did already. The boss is at 2%. Oh, interestingly enough, yeah, these bosses do not have a rage mechanic, where if you kill one, the other one will go crazy. Yeah, no, they don't. But these bosses, they're quite strange because they take a few turns in a row, even though the turn count doesn't show it. So that's something to be very careful of, because they can just brave themselves a ton of brave, and then after that somebody just one-shot one of their party member. That's something to be careful of, because as you can tell, the poison wasn't enough. But yeah, I'll upload the last fight probably later. If not, the latest will be tomorrow. And I'll see you guys in the next one.